The offensive woes continue for the green and gold on this homestand. Even though their main anchor has not been in the middle of the lineup, the Bats have gone cold since their return home from the East Coast. On the bright side, the pitching has turned the corner. From the starters to the bullpen, they have been lights out. Sean Manaea will look to feed off his pitching brethren and get back on track after a couple of rough starts. It's game 3 of 4. A's and the Rays next. Wednesday Night Baseball from the Coliseum. It's game 3 of the series. A's looking for their first win in the series, and Sean Manaea is looking for his 6th win of the year. It's the A's and the Tampa Bay Rays coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. I'm Glenn Kuiper. The A's were hoping that they could carry momentum from that very fine road trip into this 10-game homestand, but they have not been able to do that, especially the offense. Look at the offense. Just 15 runs scored in the 8 games so far in the homestand. A batting average of 168, only 5 home runs hit, and all on the heels was a very good offensive road trip. We're trying to figure it out. I'm bringing in Ray Fosse. Maybe he can figure it out. Ray, you know, Chris Davis has been out, right, so that has a little bit to do with it. But I think there's been a deeper issue than just no Chris Davis. They just have not been able to find that big hit.
And you know what I think it is, Cup? I think it's execution. You're getting runners in scoring position last night, second and third, nobody out, no contact. All you have to do is put the ball in play, you're going to score a run. They did in the 9th inning, but they were down 3. But if they execute when they get runners in scoring position, which they did on the road, they're going to win a lot of games. But fortunately, the pitching has kept them in the game.
All right, let's hope that offense gets rolling. Let's hope Sean Manaea gets back on track. He has been struggling as of late. Dallas, what are you seeing from Sean Manaea lately?
Well, what we've seen from Sean Manaea lately is a lack of ability to command the baseball in the zone. It's not an overall body of work. It's really been just a few pitches through the course of his outings. He came out of the gate hot, guys. First 6 starts, 4-2, 1.03 ERA. Opponents hitting under 200, and over the last 5 starts, ERA north of 7 for Sean Manaea. So if he can get back commanding that baseball in the zone, keep the ball in the yard, long balls in each of the last 5 starts, Sean Manaea can start to make progress and get back to the Manaea we were used to.
All right, let's hope that happens, and let's hope this offense get rolling tonight in game 3 of the series. It's the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays coming up. We'll have lineups and first pitch, so keep it right here on NBC Sports California.
to you by Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
So game 3 of the series between the A's and the Rays on a cool night here at the Coliseum. Let's check the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Tough to think about the beach tonight. It's 58 degrees, and quite frankly, it feels colder, and it is very breezy tonight. See the flags whipping around pretty good.
Leading off for Tampa Bay, shortstop, number 28, Daniel Robertson.
All right, Daniel Robertson steps in. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Rays. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Robertson, Crone, Duffy, Ramos, Refsnyder, Arroyo, Gomez, Field, and Sucre. That's your Rays lineup, and the first pitch of the ball game from Sean Manaea is outside. So we're underway.
It'll be hard to get to talk about it.
7:06.
Let's hope we can talk about him for 8 innings.
That's
tonight.
right.
Olsen hustling over. Maybe. Not quite. As he had a chance to catch it.
Sean Manaea, of course, started the season outstanding pitching and looked like he'd easily to win 20, but that has not been the case. The month of May is now 5-5 on the season as he makes his 12th start. His last start against the Diamondbacks, and he went just 5 innings in that game. And not a particularly great game, as he talked about after. Needed to make some changes. Let's see if he's done it before tonight's game. Actually, I take that back, 3 2/3 innings, which was his shortest outing ever.
So 1-2 the count to Daniel Robertson hitting in the leadoff spot tonight. It's that one toward Chapman. Chapman on the backhand, he juggles, and Robertson's going to be aboard. So leadoff man on. We'll see what the ruling is. Let's take a look at the A's defense. It has Joyce in left, Fowler in center, Piscotty in right. Then it's Chapman at third. Pinder at short tonight. We'll tell you why in just a moment. Jed Lowry's at second, and Matt Olson is over at first with Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching. And Chad Pinder starting at short. Marcus Semien not with the team. And he is a father, right, for the second time?
Father for the second time. And his wife Tara, finally this morning, Marcus saying the 26th of May. But the replay shows that Matt Chapman, of course, put the glove down, hit it to the side, and always with the backhand, you have that problem. You don't have your body to block it. It's hit slowly by Robertson, who runs well, and it's one of those do-or-die plays, unfortunately given an error.
1-0 to Crone. A little bit outside. Exmo tonight brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Crone, 12 home runs, 31 runs batted in. He's 3 for 10 in this series with a home run. You look at the players, if their pants are a little bit baggy, they're blowing around pretty good in the breeze. So Marcus Semien on the paternity list, and a little extra help in the bullpen. Josh Lucas is brought up from AAA. So the A's really, Ray, with just 2 extra players, right. Maxwell and Barreto.
And as always, with only 2 catchers on the roster, you have to think only 1 bench player.
That one pops off the glove of Lucroy, and that's going to allow Robertson to go to second.
Well, if you're trying to come back, this is not a good start.
We're trying to execute heater in here, and they get to the spot. I think this thing might have had a little bit of cut on it late at the end. Gets away from Luke there, something you're not used to seeing. Luke does a great job of keeping everything in front of him there, just off the glove.
So runner at second, 3-1 the count to Crone. Duffy waits in the on-deck circle. And that one drops a little bit low. So an error and a walk. Umpires tonight, that's Scott Berry calling balls and strikes. Carlos Torres at first. That is Paul Nauer. He's the crew chief. He's at second. And Lance Barksdale is at third.
And right now, if you're Sean Manaea, Foss, to your point, things haven't gone the way you'd like for them to go out of the gate right now. But it's still very early. You're only 9 pitches into this thing. You've got the ability to get 2 outs, 1 pitch here, and get you right back in the mix.
And Duffy lines one just foul. Hey, this is what happens when you're struggling. It's like a hitter who's in a slump and seems like the count is always 0-2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough part. And you know, the one thing that after going just 3 2/3 in his last start, what Sean Manaea needed was a quick 1-2-3 inning and get the confidence back, which I don't think he's lost that much anyway, except he went a little bit drastic, shaved his head.
That's drastic. That one rolled to the right side. That's Lowry, who fires to Pinder to get the out at second base. Fielder's choice for Duffy. So here are the struggles for Sean Manaea. Of course, he got off to the terrific start. He was 4-2 with a 1.03 ERA after his first 6 starts, but since then the ERA is over 7. So that's the frustrating part. And his last start was on the 25th of May against the Diamondbacks, and it was the shortest outing of the season for him. He gave up 6 runs in 3 2/3 innings.
Well, guys, he did go through a stretch, a 6-start stretch, I believe starting April 15th, where he squared off over 6 starts against the same 3 teams twice each. Seattle, Houston, and Boston had success against those 3 teams first time around. Second time around against those teams, not so great. Just for some context, those first 3 games, 23 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, only 1 earned run allowed. Second time through those 3 games, 17 2/3 innings, 11 earned runs, only 12 strikeouts.
Could use a strikeout, or maybe even better, a ground ball right at somebody. Ramos hits the ball hard, does not run real well.
Well, the problem here is the way he hits the ball hard to right field, and middle infielders have to cheat towards the middle for a possible double play, which opens up the hole on the right side. And there you see the hole with Duffy at first and Robertson. Good speed on the bases, but a huge hole on the right side. And we saw him last night go deep to right field. Ramos with a home run. But the one thing that Sean Manaea, if he could do consistently, that is throw the hard slider back foot, throw it hard, not give a chance for a hitter to adjust.
Ramos chases the changeup, 83 miles an hour, and that's a big strikeout.
Well, that's as good as a double play because it's a strikeout, no movement on the bases, and a great pitch. One pitch that really has made Sean Manaea in the month of April a successful pitcher, and just one of those things that the slider's been good, but he hasn't thrown it consistently, and getting a chance to throw a changeup there. I hope he takes his cap off tonight so we can really see.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. And here's Rob Refsnyder playing left field tonight. Utility man, plays a number of different positions. Saw him with the Yankees for a couple years. That one drops in there for a strike. 1-1 to count. Rob Refsnyder. He's got 12 starts in left field, 3 starts in right field. He's been the designated hitter 7 times. He's in left field tonight. Fowler's going to get there into left center field. He's got it, and Manaea works out of the jam. The Rays strand a pair in the top of the first. Athletics in the bottom of the first. The lineup for the A's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Joyce, Chapman, Lowry, Olson, Piscotty, Canna, Fowler, Lucroy, Pinder. Lucroy 5 for 7 in his career against that guy, Nathan Eovaldi.
Well, an interesting story. We saw a reliever come in after 3 Tommy John surgeries. How about Nathan Eovaldi, that is. He has had 2, and the Rays signed him, even though he was just about ready to have 1. A little chilly tonight. Not where Eovaldi pitches his home games, but still a good pitcher, a veteran, someone that Rays were looking forward to getting back in the rotation.
So the first pitch to Joyce, swing and a miss, 98 miles an hour. Eovaldi, before the surgeries, always had high velocity.
No doubt.
And that was his thing.
That 100-mile-an-hour Texas heater.
From Alvin, Texas. There's another pretty good hard-throwing right-hander from Alvin, Texas.
What are they doing down there?
The Express.
High octane.
That's right.
We're doing ABCs and they're wrestling steers and throwing fastballs out there.
True. Eovaldi had that Tommy John surgery, and so he did not pitch at all last year, and that didn't surprise anybody. And what happened, Ray, was with Eovaldi, they said, we're going to sign you, and we're going to let you work through it in 2017. And we're going to have a club option, and if we like what we see and we think you can help us in 2018, we're going to pick up that club option, and that's what the Rays did.
Got a chance to pitch towards the end of last year, enough that the Rays liked what they saw.
Yep.
But why not? He's a veteran. He's been around baseball, and I mean, how about having the Tommy John? What he had before his senior year in high school?
Yeah, he had the first one in high school. Yeah.
Wow. So to come back the way he has, that's pretty impressive.
Hit very high, right center field. Hanging up, though, for Carlos Gomez. He tracks it down. So Joyce is retired. Let's take a quick look at the defense for the Rays. Ref, Snyder, Field, and Gomez in the outfield. Duffy, Robertson, Arroyo, and Crone on the infield, with Sucre doing the catching.
Sucre, who caught the first game of the series. I think we just got a shot of Gomez in right field. Has his own sunglasses tonight.
Tonight he didn't need a fan.
And it looks like the sunglasses he uses walking around town, not what he uses for a baseball game, but evidently they work okay. Yeah, see, it's cool, you know. I mean, I think maybe walking down the streets on an off day or something, he might be wearing those too. But
he may have had those on today at Union Square. Who knows? 93 miles an hour to the backstop, 2-0.
When you mentioned Tampa Bay having signed Eovaldi on the heels of that Tommy John, he actually hit the DL early. Had to have another procedure done, taking loose bodies out of the elbow.
Yeah, he was ready to be in the rotation from the start of the season, right?
Yeah, that's right. He was ready to rock, but had some discomfort. They decided to get the picture taken, realized they've got some issues in there. March 30th, they went in there.
I know they hide bodies someplace, but I didn't know they were loose in an elbow, though.
That's right.
You don't want them to loosen up, but if they do, I guess you got to get them out of the Chapman a little while. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
Position. Second baseman, number 8,
Jonathan Lucroy just got moved up to the batting order since the lineups were sent out.
Did we miss something?
No, Mike Selleck. It's Lucroy from 8th to 6th. Canna's moving down to 8th in the lineup.
Okay, they just announced that with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. So, change your scorecard.
Do it tomorrow.
I can't do that. I panic. I gotta change it.
I'm going to white it out pretty soon, too.
All right, so Lucroy hitting 6th. Canna hitting 8th. There's a strike, 97 miles an hour.
You know, talk about a Tommy John surgery, which is obviously a very serious surgery. Takes time to recoup. The A's have a couple pitchers, A.J. Puck and Terrell Cotton, doing the recovery time. I saw Terrell the other day, and he's at least getting the strength back. But remember when Troy Percival was a catcher, he had Tommy John. He came back throwing 100 miles an hour. So maybe they Billy Koch, I think they said tighten it up, turn another notch or two, or you know,
That's-
twist it around in there a little bit more.
That's right. I mean, you know, one of the old adages as a ball player was if you're going under the knife with that procedure, you got one or two options. You can come out of there having had Tommy John and might have some velocity, or you have Tammy Jane and you come back throwing about 80 poo.
Tammy Jane. Well, you know, it's also funny about Tommy John. There's that theory that, like you said, tighten it up a little bit and you're going to throw harder. And you say that to a trainer or a doctor, they're like, that's ridiculous. That is not true, that you throw harder when you come back from Tommy John surgery.
Well,
yeah, he's got the scars to show for it.
I remember Troy Percival, they said, wait a minute. And then Billy Koch, I think he kind of joked. Maybe it was a joke, but he said I had him wrap it around it again a little bit tighter. You know, whatever it takes.
That simple.
Yeah. Dallas was right. If you're going in under the knife, make it nice.
Yeah.
Special.
Lowry swings at a pitch that was in the dirt. He strikes out. Check this list out. Pitchers to start in the majors after 2 Tommy John surgeries. There's a fair list there. I guess the question is, did any of them have success the second time? Well, Zambrano, pretty good.
Chris Medlin just retired.
Yep.
You know, the whole thing about Tommy John surgery, and unfortunately Jared Parker was one who had 2 and had to call it quits, unfortunately, probably prematurely. Jared Parker with the Athletics and was having some great seasons, and all of a sudden, not 1 but 2. I think also threw a pitch and broke his elbow. You know, just
yeah, that was too bad.
Yeah, a lot of bad stuff happening.
A chance to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, great changeup from the right-hander.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate incident. I was actually on the field when that happened. I watched him throw his first 2 pitches, and then that third one, I believe it was, and the snap and the pop, and I mean, my heart sank, as did everybody around there, because you know what kind of work that young man put in to get himself back in that position.
And you know, there's pitchers injuries, they hurt their arm and you see them shake their arm a little bit on the mound or maybe reach for their shoulder, you know, but when you see that where he kind of rolled over and you could tell he was in obvious pain. Remember when Dave Dravecky, his arm snapped in Montreal, and it was the same thing. He just, oh man. Two and 2 to Matt Olson.
Well, here's a guy throwing 98 miles an hour, the fastball outside with the whole left side of the infield open with 2 strikes. But I guess they just figure that based on what has happened previously, he's going to pull the ball. Evaldi's kind of calling his own game. Sucro's just throwing fingers down, said, you know, whenever you agree, I'll stop. He went fastball away, fastball in. Fastball away. Let's go. Let's go with that. I insist. Just hit a base hit to left field now.
In the dirt, dug out by Sucre. So full count with 2 outs. Chapman, the runner at first, is going to go.
And guys, I know we couldn't see that in the screen right there, but Eovaldi and Sucre having a little exchange there. Sucre being adamant about pitch selection. Eovaldi might be second guessing not only himself but Sucre as well here.
They gave the one last time, but it looked like a split that went down the previous pitch.
That one's bounced to the right side. The first side retired. So Arroyo throws out Olson, and that'll do it for the A's in the bottom of the first. The Oakland A's into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Second inning. No score. First pitch to Christian Arroyo is a strike. There you go, folks. It's a breezy one. Arroyo playing second base tonight. Arroyo is the main player that the Rays got from the Giants in the Longoria deal, a young middle infielder.
And Arroyo really was a guy that allowed the San Francisco Giants to move on from Matt Duffy.
He's a youngster. I think he was a #1 draft pick. Bounces that one toward the shortstop Pinder. Pinder across the diamond. So one away here in the second inning. That gets us to our Coors Banquet timeless moment. Couple of starts before tonight for Sean Manaea against the Rays. One in 2016 and one in 2017, and he was very good in both. 8 innings of shutout ball 2 years ago. Last year, 2 earned runs in 7 innings. The one last year was down in St. Petersburg.
Well, I think the impressive thing, of course, he pitched the no-hitter against the Red Sox, but he also pitched well at Fenway, something he had not done previously. And on the last road trip, he did pick up the win. And I'd say the fact that he did pitch well against them there, I mean, granted the no-hitter was special, but he had some ugly starts at Fenway. But it was good to see him pitch well there. But maybe Jonathan Lucroy can help him out a little bit tonight. He's caught in most of his games this year. He knows the struggles. He's throwing a lot of changeups already.
Well, and that's what's going to get Sean Manaea, in my opinion, back on track is getting into a rhythm, executing fastball, executing changeup, executing the back and forth, acceleration, deceleration.
Good fastball there, 90, and it had a little extra life on it.
But, you know, after the changeup that he pulled out, looked like 100.
That's right.
Lots of changeups, 33% this year.
And that's good because that's a great pitch for him because it comes out of his hand like a fastball.
I think too, because he's really almost a low 3/4 delivery, I think that adds a little movement to that changeup. Kind of fades away to right-handed hitters. Dallas, you were a little more over top. You really weren't a low 3/4 guy like Manaea.
No, I was I was over the top. Slight cross body action as well. Not a ton of movement, late life.
A little flare, that could be trouble, and it's going to bounce for a hit. Gomez has very good speed. The ball's rolling around on the wall. Gomez will round second. He will head for third, and he's going to make it. That ball hit at the base, and then it stayed right along the wall and rolled along the wall.
But once it got past Piscotty, tried to reach for it, but once he missed it, and this ball just flared out to right field. But the fact that Piscotty went after it, missed it, and then that's when his momentum took him towards the wall. But then the ball there got by him as he goes after it, and then caromed and little bumper pool, and not much he could do, especially Gomez with the ball in front of him. Still runs well.
Got a little hitch in his giddy up though, looks like. I don't know if he's
right. Had a hamstring injury last year, I think.
Yeah, he's been plagued with leg injuries in recent years.
So with 1 out, runner at third, the A's bring the infield in with Johnny Field, the hitter.
Just looking at Gomez, he seems a little bit heavier than what we've seen in the past.
Absolutely, at least from a couple years ago.
Right. Well, maybe it's 3 meals in the clubhouse a day.
Yeah, possible.
And they're gourmet meals too.
The caloric intake in the big league clubhouses has certainly
seen an uptick.
Yeah. Although, you know what, probably a little bit healthier than it used to be if you think about it, but there's just a lot of it.
And then
Better quality and better quantity. How about that?
if you could sneak a pizza or an In-N-Out burger every once in a while, you feel good.
Yes, we would. A little ice cream, maybe.
Oh, that's take that.
1-2.
Well, the strikeout would be huge here.
That one is lined toward left, hustling over, diving as Joyce. He's not going to get it. So Field is going to have an RBI double, and the Rays are going to have a 1-0 lead. Joyce dove for it. I don't know that he really had a shot at it.
Yeah, did not have a shot at it as a pitcher. You appreciate the effort. Probably a double anyway, going into second base. Cadillac and West Field. But again, for Minaya, this is about location. It's not necessarily about pitch selection. It's about giving these hitters an opportunity when you are ahead in the count to do something, anything with the pitch that you could potentially get them out with or even work off of for the next pitch. Just giving these hitters too much of an opportunity with 2 strikes.
Here's Sucre, still only 1 out.
I think the Rays, you can see in the dugout, we're noticing what you just mentioned about Gomez running, because they were asking him. It looked like about his running because he was not running hard. Sucre gets hit behind the plate a few times, but how about hitting? Same thing. Comes right back up, hits him in the midsection. Knee, whole body. No protection, though.
Sucre at 236. He's got 4 RBIs on the year, no home runs.
Yeah, the problem this inning, I think, for Sean Manaea, gives up a triple and 2 strikes to Gomez. Field of the 1 and 2 count. But you know, the fastball that was thrown 90 miles per hour to Gomez, he swung through it. Same 90, but to Dallas's point about location to Field, it was not where he wanted it, and maybe following a pitch that he was able to turn on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
And even that fastball right there, Foss, that fastball is located down, doesn't have an opportunity to get the hands to it like Field did. If you can pull those hands and get the bat to the ball, you've got a chance, and that's exactly what happened for Field.
Sucre chases the pitch in the dirt, and that is out number 2.
And that is a beautiful job of working off that pitch on the inside part of the plate there to Sucroy. Understanding you've sped him up with velocity. Let's get back to that good changeup arm speed, good changeup hand speed. You drop that down in the zone, starts middle, you keep it over the plate. It looks appetizing, and they just run out of bat.
So now to the top of the order in Daniel Robertson. Robertson reached on an error in the first inning. He ended up being stranded at third. Bounces this one to Pinder. Pinder's got it. Pinder across just in time. Side retired. A run on 2 hits for the Rays. Bottom of the second coming up. Tampa Bay with a 1-0 lead.
photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
1-0 Rays lead, bottom of the second inning on a chilly night here at the Coliseum. A day game tomorrow to wrap up the 4-game series, and then the A's will head to Kansas City. The Rays will head to Seattle, so they will have a 3-game weekend series against the Mariners. A's are 28-27, Rays 27-26. So both teams game over 500. Coming over is Crone. Looks like he may have a play, and he does. So Piscotty is retired, and that's the first out. And now it's Lucroy who slid up to the 6th spot.
And we're happy he knows about it.
That's a good thing. Well, he's got these terrific numbers in his career against Nathan Eovaldi, and that would be the reason, I would think.
Exactly right.
He's 5 for 7 with 2 doubles and a homer.
That's right, some damage.
So we'll see if he can make that happen tonight. Last time Nate Eovaldi pitched in a game was August 10th of 2016. So that's a long haul for
Yeah, it is. And in fact, he was with the Yankees when he faced them on April the 20th. Faced the Athletics.
It's a long time to get back into game action and try to figure out who you are, what you're working with, how that body's going to respond, how that body's going to recover.
Highest average fastball velocity. That was 2 years ago when he was, last time he was pitching. Dallas, you spent some time on the disabled list, and it's difficult for a guy. But how about for almost a year and a half?
Yeah, it's
a little bit of mental torture too, right?
Well, that's the biggest grind is the mental approach. Understanding you have a massive hurdle to get over, and what you have to come to terms with very early on is this isn't going to be the physical challenge.
Quick pitched him on this fastball, and he was going a nice slow windup, and then all of a sudden this time he came to the set position and unloaded quickly, and maybe just fooled Lucroy on the fastball. Did have two-seam action coming back, but he did not have that same smooth delivery. Changed it up, got a strikeout.
0-1 to Dustin Fowler.
This young man knows all too well about that mental hurdle.
Yeah.
And that kneecap injury.
Little jam shot, center field. Field hustling in. He's going to get there, and that's a good inning for Nathan Eovaldi. 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. 1-0 Rays after 2.
Ladies and gentlemen,
for tickets in section 322. All ticket proceeds will benefit the Oakland A's Community Fund. For more information, please visit athletics.com/impact. 322, that's a good seat. See everything up there.
Yep.
And pick your price. That's even better. Free doesn't work though. You got to pay something.
2-0 the count to Crone. Crone, Duffy, and Ramos. 3 right-handed hitters. Pretty good right-handed hitters against Sean Manaea. Two-0 changeup and a good one.
And that's what you need. A hitter's going to look fastball.
And what you saw from Lucroy as well is that head shake, that acknowledgement. Attaboy, way to get back in the count. And there it is. You double up. And this is where you, if you're Sean Manaea, this is where you can really start to grab and gain some confidence, build momentum. Right now, you've executed 2 fine pitches, probably a 3rd one here in a row.
It's going fastball up and in. I'd go 3 in a row.
And he hit him.
This is part of wanting to take control and command of that inside part of the plate. Foss, you and I talk a lot about reading swings, and I think that's probably where both of our heads were at. You notice the aggressiveness from Crone on the changeup, not close on really either one of those pitches.
And you know, in reality, hitters do not believe that you're going to continue to throw changeups. And Dallas, that's why I still go back to the game you pitched against the Tigers, and that's the only pitch you had.
Right.
And you know, Jarrell Cotton did it last year, 13, 14 in a row. Hitters just think, okay, there's your changeup, I'll give it to you. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. You just don't believe it's going to happen, and that's why it's such a good pitch, especially if it looks like a fastball.
Yeah, I can remember it at bat in Texas against Michael Young. I threw him 5 straight changeups, and I remember talking to him the next day after the game or before the game, and he just kind of 5.
Yeah.
Really, 5?
Exactly.
And to your point, they're not anticipating it. They're waiting for the switch up. They're waiting for you to try to execute something maybe with more velocity or on the different side of the plate.
One pitch to Duffy, fouled straight back.
I think sometimes too, and reading swings, reading really how hitters swing, like Crone. And you know, maybe the scouting report says you can get him out inside, but he just swung a 2 changeup like he's looking fastball.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go back to maybe what the scouting report says. I don't know what it says, but you know, there's a reason for that. Probably if that pitch had been off the plate, a ball, he's probably going to go back to a changeup. But you know, do it right now because he's definitely flailing at him. And I think for pitchers and/or catchers, preferably both, but at least one can read a swing of a hitter. Kind of changes everything.
Duffy fouls it straight back. So 2-2 the count.
Well, the way the A's offense has been sputtering a little bit, it's important that Manaea and/or the entire pitching staff try to keep it as close as possible. And they're going to wake up. They're going to start scoring runs. And when they do, it's going to be fun again like it was on the road. Love to have that feeling when you come to the park and go to the plate. Somebody's going to do something special. You're going to win ball games. The thing I don't like is that, what, 4 runs or less? How many consecutive games?
Too many.
Oof. That's not good.
Fowler's back there. He's got room in right center field, and he makes the catch. So Duffy is out, and that's the first out here in the 3rd inning. The A's are 3-5 on this homestand.
Did I read 12 consecutive games at home without scoring more than 4 runs, 4 runs or less, something like that?
I believe that's what it said in the great A's notes.
Mike Selleck does a great job, especially when we're home. You know, just thinking about the wind blowing and watching C.J. Crone, he went kind of halfway. When you have the wind blowing, it's hard for an outfielder, especially an outfielder, to get behind the ball, charge it, and be able to throw strong in. So it's something to pay attention. And Fowler, I mean, as an outfielder with the wind swirling, you're worried about catching the ball. You look at those flags, you throw up the grass, and you see it. And as a base runner, sometimes you can take advantage of that because the outfielder may not be able to get behind it like he should and wants to. He just has to concentrate on catching the ball.
So 1-1 to Wilson Ramos. Ramos struck out in the first inning with runners at first and third and 1 out. That one's hit past Pinder into left field for a base hit. Hit number 3 for the Rays.
Well, you see the location. He left the pitch up on the changeup, and if it's down, he probably swings and misses, but he left it up. And the big man able to pull the changeup, whereas last night he had a fastball that was similar location, but away and hit it to right field.
And it looks like Manaea is just a little quick on the front, working underneath the baseball right now. That's why we're seeing that fastball flatten out a little bit. We're starting to see that changeup flatten out as well. If he can give himself just a little bit more time for that arm to catch up, he can start to work back downhill.
It's amazing too. As a catcher, you simply point to your elbow and push it up.
Yep, a little bit.
That's all you're doing is just tell him get your arm up, and you don't have to go to the mound. You just it's just kind of baseball knowledge. You just do it. Because you're right, Dallas. The pitcher starts to hurry, gets out on front, and there's no way the arm can catch up.
Just missed 2-0 to Refsnyder, who hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. .51 pitches for Sean Manaea with 1 out in the third inning. Foul back, a fastball that was out over the plate, and a good swing by Refsnyder. Ramos to runner, so not a lot of speed on the bases, so keep that in mind if there is a base hit.
The 3-1 here to Refsnyder. Sean Manaea, he threw 2 good changeups to Crone.
3-1 pitch is hit in the air right center. It's hit pretty well. Fowler's going back. Fowler near the wall, and it is gone. Rob Refsnyder, a 3-run homer to right center field. It's 4-0. The Rays lead. And this is not an easy night to hit a ball out of the ballpark the other way, although the wind is blowing that way a little bit.
And Kaipa, I think that ball was aided by the wind. We saw the ball that was hit by Duffy that went to the warning track.
And this ball right here, Foss, this thing keeps going. We'll get a good shot of those flags out there in right center. But Refsnyder here just inside outs this heater, gets it up into that jet stream. And there's no doubt in my mind, feeling what I'm feeling right now, that this one is wind aided. I mean, a well-struck baseball, not taking anything away. But on any other night, that's probably off the wall at best.
So second home run, and there you
there
see the wind's blowing, and it looks like it's blowing out to right field. Now that is also in the the wind tunnel there. That's in center field, which is up above the flags in right. So it is definitely a very windy night. Well, last night, of course, the Rays hit 4 home runs, all solo shots, and all 4 came with 2 outs.
That's right.
Tonight, it's a 3-run homer with 1 out.
And the inning started with a hit batter. 2 strikes.
Pinder juggles, and that's going to be an error on Pinder. Ball was not hit real hard, and I think it was going to be a close play at first. Arroyo can run a little bit.
But you have to make the plays, and the game started with an error, and this ball just maybe ticked the glove. Should not have slowed it down that much. The ball came up on Pinder, and watch it come up to hit of the gloves. So it's an error. Pinder has a strong arm, so even though the ball was slowed down a little bit by Manaea, still a ball that you just see that happen. It's just one of those periods of time for the Athletics just not going right.
Again, I think it's just a case of of a few bad pitches. Talk about the hit by pitch. The changeup up to Ramos, and that fastball to Refsnyder.
And that hits Carlos Gomez. So the second hit by pitch in this inning.
Well, and you can see the deep breath being taken by Minaya. A little out of sorts right now, trying to gather himself, figure it back out. He's trying to go back foot against Gomez with that slider down and in, get himself a swing and miss. He just jerked it.
Johnny Field.
So 2 on, 1 out, and here's Johnny Field, who had an RBI double in the second. First pitch to Field is fouled right back to the screen. I think obviously the home run is what you're going to think of in this inning as far as frustration goes, but the hit by pitch on Crone has to be up near the top, because he had Crone set up because he had the 2 weak swings on changeups.
Right.
Tried to come inside and then hit him.
It's a fly ball Duffy, and then a changeup up to Ramos, and fell behind to Refsnyder.
And what happens is you have that mentality, and that snowball effect starts to take hold. And you went from having executed 2 good pitches back to back to now an errant heater, man on base, and the traffic starts.
25 pitches this inning for Sean Manaea, and there's still only 1 out.
35 in the first 2, you're right.
Bounce toward Chapman, but it's foul.
That boy Ben's making some friends down there.
Yep, good move.
Ben actually got some kudos from Blake Trine. Say, hey, you made a nice play. You saved us that one time. So it's good that relievers have recognized.
Big Ben?
Big Ben. Big Ben. Just as long as Ben catches. And he was a catcher, too, by the way. Somebody, I think he said Coulomb asking if he's a shortstop. He said, no, I was a catcher. So that means that Ben's going to be willing to block as many as possible if necessary to protect the guys. There's Ben. A little cold tonight there, but that's all right. Should get down the other end where there's a heater.
He's not the only Big Ben with good hands.
Yeah, he looks cold, doesn't he? Sucre, the on-deck hitter. Arroyo at second, Gomez at first. That one's foul back.
You know, Cap, if the Rays continue to play this well after flying across the country, next time they go to maybe New York or someplace close, they'll just take a trip west and then go back east.
That's right.
It's unbelievable. I mean, they went west and took care of the Angels at home, and the A's trying to, well, they need 1 win to have a successful month of May. But, man, wins are tough to come by against the Rays.
Well, their first 4 road trips, and this is the final of those 4, all 3 city trips. But we're not going to feel that sorry for them, because the first one was New York, Boston, Chicago. So that's not
piece of
very
cake.
The next one was Baltimore, Boston, Detroit. Sorry, no sympathy. Baltimore, Kansas City, Anaheim. All right, we'll give you that one. And then this latest one, which is Oakland and Seattle. They go to Washington after that. So 30 pitches in this inning.
That's right. And what we're seeing right now, the battle between Manaea and Field, is an inability by Manaea to put guys away right now once he gets to 2 strikes.
That one is drilled toward Fowler, who grabs it on a line. Two outs.
Well, the one thing that Sean Manaea, how about that? And now this bullpen activity just because of the pitch count more than anything. But at the beginning of the season, I mean, he was getting action with 4 pitches or less, 903, but it seemed like 75–80% of his games and at bats, they were just getting things done. quickly pitching, getting games without 235, 240. And all of a sudden that has changed.
That was Carlos Ramirez warming up for the A's. Sucre hits with foul, knocked down by Big Ben.
Got to protect Marcus Jensen. How about this? Attaboy. Good hands.
Yeah, he knows what time it is. Big Ben.
So 0-1 to Sucre, who struck out in the second inning. Checks his swing. That pitch running well off the plate.
Tell you what, this whole series started with that man, and probably the 9th inning, that bare hand grab to nail the runner at third on a sacrifice attempt by Pinder. May have turned around the whole series.
Maybe.
A's could have won that game maybe at 9 innings if he doesn't make the play.
What's going on up there?
Got a drunk seagull.
Making me dizzy.
What? Falcon McFalcon trying to keep the seagulls away. If seagulls are watching that, they probably want to stay away.
Piscotty over, and he's got it. But damage done. Rob Ruffsnyder with a 3-run homer on Sean Manaea, so 4-0 Rays.
Hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Oh, that looks so good.
Warm your insides right there.
And he's out there sleeveless. He's pushing it.
Yeah. He's got his money secure too, because if he doesn't, it'll fly away. Hey, well, wait, what?
Oh, what? Sorry. Oh, God, we're on. Yeah. I found him. I found him.
What do you got? Is that chili?
He made a little chili dog. Is that street legal?
Yes, it is. It's Coliseum legal. Throws across, and Canna is retired.
Street legal. I like that. It's street legal.
Well, time of possession right now is heavily favoring the Rays.
Yeah.
Here's Pinder.
And what you're seeing out of Evaldi is what you'd like to see out of Manaea. Get the ball and go, trying to fill the strike zone up early.
Well, Evaldi looks pretty good, though, for his first start in, what, a year and a half?
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about 75 to 80 pitches. He may go 7 innings with that number, the way he's going. But
that one is drilled to center. Field hustling over and a backhanded dive, and he got it. So that is the second out. Well, nice moment before today's game. The A's celebrated National Women in Baseball Day. They honored their 2 longest tenured female employees, Betty Shinoda and Pam Pitts, and they have been here a long time. Easily excitable, and they have been here since 1981.
I've never seen Betty like that before. What's going on, Betty? Wow, she's usually hi, how are you?
She's very
flying
subdued.
around.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
It was great, Foss.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, man, I was down here on the field getting ready to do a pregame hit, and I told the guys back in the studio, I said, hey, Brody, hey, Stu, we've got Betty Shinoda coming up right now, and I'm going to mess with her. And she came walking by, and I told her, Betty, I'm live right now. The camera's on. And she about lost it. Oh, my, oh. And she started jumping around. And
Look at that. Look at that. Wow, Betty. Wow.
You want to talk about
Awesome.
two of the people who make this machine go
That's
round,
right.
Betty and Pam. Hats off to those lovely ladies. What a tremendous help they have been.
Whole new
Action
life
for
seeing
field.
Betty.
And you know what? Not only those two, but you saw all the female employees behind them. So congratulations to those ladies, especially Betty and Pam.
Today's betting, good to go, newly renovated Budweiser Brew House.
That one, you may want to pull it out and put it on.
Yeah.
Young lady does, and she's warm. So I don't know. I mean, we're sitting up here, and it's cool, right? You got a heavy jacket on. I don't think you'll need to take that on the road trip.
No. I don't think so.
As
matter of fact, I don't plan to.
As most of us in the traveling party do, you check the forecast. Dallas, you probably did that as a player.
Oh, yes.
Well, it is supposed to be very hot in Kansas City, and then it's supposed to be smoking hot in Dallas. Fowler's going to get back there, and he makes the catch. So,
well, this is the hanging breaking ball from Ryan Dull, and that turned out to be a huge one-run because Sergio Romo gave up 2, but the A's lost the 1-run game. And Scott Emerson, I said, why do sliders hang? He said, because they try to throw them hard, and this maybe out of whack in the way they end up throwing the ball, getting under it, and instead of having to tilt down, it stays up a little bit. And most good hitters are going to take advantage of a mistake. Robertson did last night.
Cron's been on base twice, and that is a fair ball. Chapman's got it. He's going to have to show off the big arm, and he does. And a nice play by Matt Olson on the backhanded pick.
Well, he caught it deep and the strong throw. But normally when it's thrown down,
That's a tough one.
that's tough on a first baseman to be able to handle this. It's like a catcher trying to block a ball that's thrown 100. Well, he's got some good hands, and he showed it there.
That's tough playing that hop off of the grass too. That's going to skip quickly, stay down on you.
So 2 outs. Here's Duffy. Duffy linesman foul. Manaea desperately needs a 3-up, 3-down inning.
Well, the pitch effective, economical too, because 35 last inning. Threw 35 in the first 2, 35 and 1.
Hit hard, backhanded. Lowry, his long throw in time. Very nice play by Jed Lowry, and he ends up in shallow center field. So a 7-pitch inning for Sean Manaea. Recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Are those possums? I gotta go.
No, and then the big head Eck. Oh, they're cool, aren't they?
Eck's cool. Possums are not.
Oh, man.
He's got to get something going. Chapman, Lowry, and Olsen against Nate Eovaldi. The A's do not have a hit yet. Chapman, not a bad idea. Duffy playing pretty far back. But now it's 0-2. Chapman walked in the first.
Eovaldi has thrown half the number of pitches in Sean Manaea.
Good breaking ball, and I wouldn't take it again if I was Matt Chapman.
Yeah, tough. Does a great job of getting ahead early. 0-2. Wow, that's a good downer action on that slider. Definitely a pitcher's pitch.
Chapman says, timeout, please, and Scott Berry gives it to him. Took something off, and now it's a full count.
Isn't that amazing? 1-0-2 pitch that probably could have been called a strike, wasn't. And now 3-2. Back to the hitter's count.
Eovaldi kicks and fires, and strike 3 called on the inside corner.
Wow. Well, he's not looking for a slider, the old backup slider.
Yep.
And that just stayed on the inside part of the plate. And while he didn't get one that was 0-2, 3-2 he does. And it's kind of a front door, but more of a backup.
And you could even see the reaction from Sucre there, like he almost expected it to pop out of his
Yep.
glove. Wasn't sure if that thing was done working yet or not.
First pitch to Lowry is at the knees for a strike. Lowry struck out in the first. Lowry 4 for 10 in the series, a couple of doubles. Well, in game one, the Rays, of course, that was the extra inning game. The Rays bullpen went 7 innings. Last night, just 3 1/3. And they got a whole bunch of guys down there.
Well,
so do the A's tonight.
And they're all available. And asking the question, as we discussed up here off air, about Romo, no help in the bullpen. There's nobody available. And that was the difference last night, and maybe tonight because of Evaldi coming off Tommy John, making the start. Pitch count limited, but his pitch count so far is very good. And tomorrow the A's got a reliever.
Yeah, they're doing the reliever thing tomorrow. Stanek starting, is that
Stanek,
right?
yeah.
Well, what they sounds like they're doing, they'll start Stanek, and he'll throw probably 1 inning, but then they bring in Yarbrough, right? And is he a lefty? I think he's a lefty. No, should know that. I know he's done that a couple times where he's come in after that reliever pitched 1 inning and then pitched deep into the game.
Yeah, he's a right-hander.
He's a right-hander.
Sergio Romo said, "Hey, I'm a closer and a starter." Yeah? How about that, huh? I throw a lot of sliders, too.
Look at that little face on the right.
And that's pretty typical of Sergio. Awesome. He's saying, you know, no, I didn't think Miguel Cabrera was going to take the fastball down the middle, but he did. And I got away with it.
And, you know, I can't blame him for expecting me to throw a slider because that's all I ever throw anyway. So I decided to go fastball.
That little guy's face. He's just locked in.
But listen, we got a personal conversation with the
big leaguers.
That's right. That's right. I mean, last night, guy loans a pair of sunglasses, gets a game-used baseball, you know. And all over the Twitter world. Starting with our colleague downstairs.
So 0-2 to Olsen. He grounded out to second, and that was close.
Yeah, it is my mistake. I was looking at the L. He is a left-hander. Yarbrough is. That's a pretty good pitch also.
Evaldi grabs that one, and he flips to first. So 4 innings, the A's have had just 1 base runner, and that was a walk against Nathan Evaldi. got there? All right.
Dog.
A dog.
He's left-handed too, like Yarbrough.
I've never quite understood why lefties get the bad rap for being weirdos. I don't.
You know what? And I agree with you, Dale. I think at times it's unfair.
It is. I don't know where it's come from. It's a stigma that we just have to deal with. We'll get past it.
How do you talk with that over your mouth?
At times, I said at times it's unfair. At times it's very accurate.
I think I know where you're going. This is just taking a note out of Mark Canna's book.
Well, you know what? You may need that tonight.
May?
Ooh.
It's a little cold.
See, I have a picture of Dallas down there while he's working it. He's got this bag that sits right next to him, and it's just full of goodies.
Bag of tricks.
And whatever he needs, he's got it in his bag. Remember he needed the special bat that we were talking about at the beginning of the year? It was in that bag.
Yeah.
The axe handle.
Axe handle. Well, actually, now we see what Dallas looks like without a beard, because he's got the beard covered.
Now batting number 8, Rob Rushmeyer.
There it is. Just eyes.
It's not a great look.
You look like a skier in the Olympics.
I like
who
to
just went down, you know, the Super G.
Yeah, I feel like
I survived.
I feel like I had a bad run on the moguls.
I just want to know in that bag of tricks, do you have a beard brush? Because when you take that mask off.
Absolutely.
I need something serious, I'll tell you that.
Here's the villain right now, Rob Rushmeyer, a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning.
Well, let us not forget that in Toronto on a Saturday afternoon, Sean Manaea was down 4-0, and it looked like the A's were not going to do anything. And that's when Chad Pender hit the grand slam to right center. The A's won 5-4. No decision for Sean. It's nice if the offense could come close to that tonight.
That's why we talk about Manaea needing to settle in at some point in time. 85 pitches might be past that point.
This was the home run by Rushmeyer. He hit it to right center.
Yeah, that's I think tip your cap, because what he got on this one, Refsnyder did, he'd never get in his home park with the roof unless the air conditioner was blowing hard out to right center. But that probably was wind aided, but bottom line, it was a home run, and that was a great strike.
So strikeout number 3.
This is what we're talking about, settling in for Sean Manaea. He gets away with one here. Try to go down and in on the slider here. This thing backs up. He sort of casted it, spits out of the back of his hand, but nonetheless was able to get the call.
2 outs. Arroyo bounces one off of Manaea, and it rolls past Lowry into center field for a base hit. So let's see where it hit Manaea.
Well, the amazing thing, Jed Lowry went over to field it, and his momentum just carried him. He couldn't stop. Normally you said infielder go and then stop, but this ball off Manaea changed direction. Off the left hip. But strangely enough, watching Jed Lowry go after the ball, and it's like there's no way he could stop.
Here's Carlos Gomez, who has tripled and scored him and hit by a pitch. That one in the dirt. So that hit by Arroyo, the 5th hit for the Rays. The A's do not have a hit yet. Swing and a miss.
Sean had retired 7 in a row leading up to that hit. Following the hit batter, Gomez, actually, that was the last time a base runner reached. One thing that, I mean, Sean Manaea horrible for 3 innings. Actually, first inning not that bad, but second and third, but pitching better. But the old pitch count. And it's just hard to be able to let someone go beyond a certain number of pitches, and he's approaching that number now at 91.
Especially every inning except the fourth has been a fairly high stress inning. A lot of time at the stretch. Fouled again.
And it's these type of outings that not only tax you physically but mentally as well. You haven't had a single moment to breathe, it seems. You've been trying to prepare and battle to get back into at-bats, finish at-bats. You've had traffic on the base path.
That one down and in, 2-2 the count.
Problem for Sean Manaea is Nathan Eovaldi tries to stay warm, but Sean's going to have to answer all the questions again like he did last time. And the question just kept coming. You know, what do you think? What do you think? And, you know, pitchers don't know. I mean, I wouldn't think. You try to figure it out, but for somebody continually asking the same question, it's hard to give a different answer. Maybe not an answer at all. Dallas, on a windy night, how slippery does the baseball get?
Extremely slippery. Yeah. Your hand is cold, and at times before the game even starts, you'll kind of get the clearance from the umpires to be okay to blow in your hand, to go to your mouth while on the dirt. But it's like throwing a cue ball at times.
Yeah. And that one is lined to right. Piscotty's right there, and he holds on. So a hit and a runner left. Bottom of the fifth coming up. Rays 4, A's nothing.
California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads, Redwood Train, Beach Train. Whichever way you go you can't go wrong at Roaring Camp Railroads.
So it's the bottom of the fifth inning. First pitch to Piscotty is hit high in the air to right field. Gomez backing up, and you know what? Tonight, outfielders have looked a little uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Tells you how windy it is.
Well, I want to show you some of the tremendous camera work by our crew. Check out a look at that thumb from Eovaldi. I don't see a headlamp on him. What's he digging for, boys? There's a good chance there's a sticky substance on the inside of that glove. Maybe of pine, pine extract, pine tar.
Exactly.
So you talk about the wind blowing. Talk about the temperature in that baseball, starting to feel like a cue ball. Get into that leather, get you a little go juice, and all of a sudden you got a grip on that ball again.
Yeah, you don't need to blow in your hands.
Nope.
Or do what Michael Pineda did and put the pine tar on the side of your neck.
Yeah.
The whole pine tar thing, it's almost, I mean, I get where it's illegal, all right? But it's also almost comical because you can see pine tar on the brim of guys' hats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Well, what are they doing? They're just acting like they're adjusting their hat.
But you know, and I've heard hitters say, please use it because I'd rather have you have a grip on a baseball
Right.
versus
Right there, look at him.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's trying to get it on his thumb.
Yeah. But if the ball is like Dallas says, it feels like a cue ball, well, that could be an errant pitch that goes up and it's hitch in the head too.
And ultimately, if we just stop for 2 seconds and think about the idea that the hitter has
That's
pine
right.
tar all over his back.
That's right.
And I'm out there on the mound feeling naked with a ball that I can't feel in my hand. That's not very fair.
I agree.
I need pine tar.
But it seems a pitcher has to hide it. He has to hide it.
Some are better at it.
Well, yeah. I had a pitcher that I caught many years ago who had a pine tar rag in his back pocket. And he got too much on it, threw the ball down the right field line, bases loaded for the third out. Ended up being 3 runs because the ball stuck to his hand.
That's funny.
Plus, you can see this big black spot in the back of his
Yeah, it
uniform
probably
pants.
leaked through the uniform a little bit.
But it worked. Had a great grip.
2-1 to Fowler. And now 2-2.
Trinos has it on the side of his shin guard.
Sure.
And you know, you see him go up to it all the time. Well, he's doing it as a catcher, but how much of that is ended up on the baseball when the pitcher gets it back?
And it's right there. It's very visible.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had conversations with pitchers from the old school, and they talk about when infielders used to have the metal eyelets around the holes where the lacing of the glove goes. You bend one of those, throw it around, catch it from the third baseman. He's put a scuff on it for you. Next thing you know, you got a nasty two-seamer.
And that's if you know how to use it.
That's right.
There's a difference.
Another foul ball. Fowler hanging tough against Evaldi.
These are all just little tricks of the trade.
Hey, the worst I've ever seen was the guy used a hacksaw blade in his first finger. He split the baseball in half. He cut it so much. I said, don't you think it's a little obvious? Well, that's called working on it in the bullpen, but he took it to the game at first front finger.
Right to second. Royal throws out Fowler, and that's another 3-up, 3-down inning for
Pine tar's working.
Evaldi.
Friday, June the 15th, presented by Ray Morgan Company. Fans can enjoy the postgame fireworks from the outfield grass set to the music of the Jurassic Park movies. Bring your pack of Raptors and enjoy the show. Visit athletics.com/fireworks for details.
So we reached the 6th inning, and that's the story right now. Nathan Eovaldi has not a lot of hit.
Sean Manaea's out of the game.
Yes, he is. Carlos Ramirez is in. This is his first appearance as a member of the Oakland A's. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. Couple games with the Blue Jays. The Athletics claimed him off waivers from Toronto on the 20th of May. He made one appearance for the A's AAA team. Here's the numbers on Manaea. 95 pitches. Interesting story with Carlos Ramirez. When he started his professional baseball career, he was an outfielder. He was an outfielder from 2009 to 2016, but it was in 2014 when he started to think about pitching. And then really in 2016 he became a full-time pitcher, so he really has not been pitching that long.
Kind of reminds me of former teammate Alexi Ogando, if you remember that name.
That's right.
Starter for the Texas Rangers at one point in time, was an outfielder in the Oakland A's organization. I played with Mago, as they called him, Alexi Ogando, in Vancouver, Canada, and either him or Javier had the best throwing arm I have ever seen in my life.
So you played with him when he was an outfielder, Ogando?
Correct.
Wow.
And if you are familiar with Nat Bailey Stadium in Vancouver.
Pinder's got this one, his throw, and Olsen could not hold on. The throw was low and a little up the line, and it's going to be another error.
Well, fielded it this time. Last time he had a ground ball. Ball came up. This time he got it. Throw a little sinker, and Matt Olson just could not handle it.
Now batting,
You have to reach that far and try to backhand. Lucky to get the glove on it, hit the heel, and then could not stay in the glove. And Matt Olson said, hey guys, I'm tall, throw up chest high, and then I don't have to move. Third error tonight for the Athletics.
A's now have 37 errors on the year. First pitch is a fastball high to Jesus Sucre. $12 base runners for the A's, or for the Rays in this game. 1 for the Athletics.
They've ran into a buzzsaw in Eovaldi.
Yeah, he could be a nice addition for them if he's obviously healthy and pitching well.
Well, and it adds another dimension to their approach as far as the starting rotation is concerned. You don't have just Archer and Blake Snell, two guys that you can rely on maybe every 5 days. Now you factor in a third guy, that bullpen day. You're not necessarily depending on that. You can give those guys a breather.
Well, Faria comes back too. They may just completely scratch the bullpen start. Maybe Yarbrough would be the only one. They might start somebody in the first.
Runners going, pitch out, and the throw goes into center field. And hopping up and going to third is Fields, and that's going to be another error. Stolen base, E2, runner at third, nobody out.
Well, it's a pitch out, and as we always say, it does not mean with a pitch out it's a guarantee. And Field with good speed. There's the pitch out, the throw just to the right. I don't think the wind took it. Fielder trying to knock it down.
Infield comes in. 1-1 to Sucre. Takes that one. Sucre has strikeout and a fly ball to right field. Robertson will be next, and then Crone. Foul back. Well, with the A's offense struggling and already trailing 4-0, every run that you can prevent becomes very important. Reaches for that one, does Sucre.
It's a great point, Kai, because last night we saw it firsthand. Like giving that extra run in the 9th inning.
Absolutely.
Especially not being effective, getting runners in from third base, less than 2 outs a couple of times. And 4 errors tonight for the Athletics.
Well, if you're Ramirez right now, what you have is the opportunity to sort of identify yourself as somebody that Bob Melvin can lean on.
Pinder's got this one. Pinder flips it to first, and holding his field at third.
He can identify himself as somebody they can lean on in situations like this where you might not get the best of starts out of the starter. Instead of a Yusmeiro Petit eating up innings while the team is behind, maybe it's something that Ramirez can come on and do, shoulder that load, and now the back end of the bullpen continues to take shape.
So here is the top of the order, and Daniel Robertson. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Robertson has reached down an air. He's grounded out. He's hit a fly ball to center field. Infield stays in. And now it's 0-2. So Ramirez doing a nice job jumping ahead of Robertson.
Difference here, we might see field goal on contact. Just looking back on the 29th of April, 4 errors by the Athletics. That's the only other time. Month of May has been good for the Athletics. Only once have they gone more than 1 error in a game. Many errors, airless games in the month of May.
Nice block by Lucroy. That was a tough pitch.
Well, as a reliever, you want to come in spinning the breaking ball for strikes, but you also need to have the confidence that you can expand with 2 strikes. And Lucroy, we talk about it all the time. Definitely somebody who gives you the confidence as a pitcher to go ahead and bury your off speed.
Fastball up and in, see if he can get it done.
And he came in, and it's another hit batter. So that's the 3rd Rays hitter who has been hit.
Well, the fastball in, and unfortunately, we saw Manaea as a left-hander went inside, hit Crone. This time the right-hander hits Robertson. And unfortunately, the old setup pitch that's used to maybe set up another turns out to be exactly that. Ball runs in too much and does set up a possible double play. Crone hit a ball on the ground.
Crone has walked, been hit by a pitch, and grounded out. He scored a run. First pitch is down and in. Field is at third, Robertson at first, so good speed on the corners. Outfield straightaway, infield straightaway, looking for a ground ball. Crone leads the Rays in RBIs with 31. Scott Emerson's going to come out, and we're going to have a full meeting on the mound.
While they're chopping it up, we're going to take a look at the bomb hit last night by C.J. Crone. Again, just that breaking ball sort of mixing in the middle, hanging, and C.J. Crone, a big, strong individual. If you've ever seen him take BP, You know that's a danger nitro zone down and in for Crone. Soft coming to him.
So what you're saying is, be careful.
That's right. If you're going to spin it, you got to spin it down and away from a guy like Crone. Something early, quality in the count. If that's the case, it's got to be down or better. You don't want to leave it up to CJ.
And that one was up, not where Ramirez wanted it. It was the old backup slider, and it just kind of hung on the inside part of the plate.
Well, let's see where Lucroy is, and it does go in versus away at the 82 miles per hour. Actually, when Scott Emerson came out, Lucroy looked in the dugout, kind of indicated, is it me that you want to go out and talk? I mean, it's kind of sad now that catchers have to ask if they can go talk to a pitcher. And Scott Emerson came out, so that was the visit.
Missed outside, and now it's 3-1. So Ramirez pitches to Crone have not really been that close. On deck is Duffy.
Not even close enough to try to get someone to chase a pitch.
Well, that's the thing, is they're not competitive. You want to have competitive misses, give you an opportunity to work off that previous pitch.
And that one was a slider that stayed on the inner part of the plate again. But this time Crone had a good swing, he just fouled it back. So 3-2 the count. Robertson a possibility to take off. See if the Rays start the runner.
Well, the run at third base, a good idea. He's hopeful, if he does start, to turn a double play anyway.
He's not running. And the ball is fouled at the plate, and then it rolls out onto the infield grass.
And I like that pitch. I love that pitch by Ramirez there, crowding CJ Crone. Seen some breaking balls back to back. I thought the way he fouled that previous breaking ball off, he looked like he was looking out over the plate here. And you see this emergency hack trying to clear himself. And you can tell there, even with that momentum, carrying him slightly towards the first base side in an effort just to try to get to that ball. He's still looking out over the plate.
Another 3-2. Runner goes this time, and it's fouled right side down the line a little ways.
Well, you have to pay attention to the runner, too. At least make him stop. Don't let him get a running jump, as Robertson does run well. I think this is always a good opportunity to stay out of a double play, especially with the infield back, and you make contact. It's going to be hard to get the runner at second base, especially if he's on the move. Slider, see if he rolls over.
Runner goes, foul back. So a good battle in a very important part of the ball game. It's only the top of the sixth, but the A's trying to keep the deficit at just 4. Ramirez deals, and that one's hit towards second. Right there is Lowry. He's got it, steps on the bag, throws to first, double play. So the runner was going, Lowry going over in that direction, picked up the baseball, stepped on second, turns the double play.
when things work out, maybe this will turn you around, because this is a 3-2 count with a base hit, a ground ball up the middle with the runner on the move. All Jed Lowry did is catch the ball, step on the bag, at the same time throw to first base and get the 4-3 double play. Now the A's just need to get some hits.
So bottom of the 6th inning, Canna, Pinder, and Joyce, the 3 scheduled hitters against Nathan Eovaldi. He has not allowed a hit tonight. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, pitch number 65 coming up. His first start since August of 2016. So 2-1 to Mark Canna. Broken bat, grounder, scooped up by Arroyo.
The unfortunate thing for the Tampa Bay Rays, they've been on the wrong end of no-hitters and perfect games, but this one's a little bit different for them because they're the good side, at least from their standpoint right now.
Nathan Eovaldi has done an incredible job of working ahead, working quickly.
And that one's driven to right field. Gomez goes into a dive and he makes the catch. Nice play. Got a good jump, playing fairly shallow.
Well, that's the key. Loves playing shallow and a legitimate dive.
Now batting left fielder, number 23,
When necessary for 2 reasons, Foss. One, he's got to get himself down as far as eye level is concerned, on the same level as that ball at the track. And twofold, to dodge the light standard as well.
That's right.
Get yourself out of the lights. Make sure you're, again, on par with that baseball, track it into the glove.
So 2 quick outs. Here's Joyce. There's a strike, 90 miles an hour.
A 4-pitch walk to Matt Chapman, second batter of the game, and that's it.
Nasty pitch there, 88 miles an hour. A lot of downward movement. So 0-2. And that one hit up the middle. Right into the shift side. Retired. So another 3 up, 3 down inning for Nathan Eovaldi. 4-0 after 6.
free suite to the game. That's right, a free suite for you and 11 of your closest friends. Simply text BOOM. That's BOOM to 60946. The contest will last through June the 18th. Message and date rates do apply. Again, simply text BOOM to 60946. See complete rules at athletics.com.
Carlos Ramirez, second inning of work. He'll face Duffy, Ramos, and Refsnyder. Man, Duffy is 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. He's 3 for 12 in the series. Drops this one into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. So Duffy coming into the game, the 9th best batting average in the American League. He's 1 for 4. This was in between innings. Handshakes for Nathan Eovaldi, and looks like he's probably going to be done. Remember, his first start in over a year and a half, and he was terrific.
Well, he said, wait a minute, Skip, let me take the pine tar off my thumb before I shake your hand. But it worked. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Only base runner was the walk.
That's a heck of a foundation to lay for yourself moving forward.
So Ramos steps up. Wilmer Font, former Athletic, gets up starting to throw.
A's will be looking for their first hit of the game against the former relief pitcher. The A's they face when it's with the Dodgers.
2-0 to Ramos.
Like they're going to face him again tonight.
Outfield shift a little bit toward right for Ramos. Big strong guy with good power the other way. His home run went to right field. First place Astros lost tonight at Yankee Stadium 5-3. So the Astros have lost 4 out of their last 5.
Did you see Aroldis Chapman's wild pitch last night that came back?
Yeah, got it out.
Sanchez.
It's living right.
Well, we had that in Cleveland a lot, where just turn around, a guy try to score, and just turn around, catch the ball, and tag him out.
Severino got the win in that game. He is 8-1. So having an all-star season.
Yeah, he has been outstanding for Aaron Boone and the New York Yankees. Potential Cy Young conversation.
Keuchel took the loss. He's 3-7. So that is the updated East. The Yankees loss. Excuse me, the Yankees win, and the Red Sox also won. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 6-4.
I don't think there's any surprise how that division has started to shape up.
Nope, it's they're stretching it out now.
That's what we anticipated.
There's the AL West with the Astros loss. So the Mariners, who are playing right now and leading 4-2 in the 6th inning, they had a chance last night to catch the Astros. They couldn't do it. A's currently at 6 games back. And that pitch is low. Single and a walk here in the 7th.
Let's take a look at Nathan Eovaldi and the body of work for him tonight. Coming back, making his first start of the 2018 season for the Tampa Bay Rays, and coming out of the gate hot with the heater. We've seen him up to 99. First pitch sliders as well. He's done a great job of throwing that breaking ball to put guys away, expanding with the slider when necessary. You talk about laying yourself a good foundation moving forward. Nathan Eovaldi tonight, good place to start.
Here's Refsnyder. Fastball inside. In that Red Sox win over the Blue Jays, J.D. Martinez hit another home run, his 18th of the year. So he is now tied for the league lead in home runs with Trout, and he now leads the American League in RBIs with 47. So the Red Sox are getting what they had hoped for from that guy, J.D. Martinez.
Remember, there was a lot of people in Boston, around Boston, who were clamoring for the signing of one Giancarlo Stanton. And when that didn't pan out, it's like a heck of a plan B, huh?
Well, at this point, Martinez is having a better year than Stanton.
Right. No doubt.
And cheaper.
2-0 pitch is rolled fair. Chapman steps on third, fires across, and they got him. So another big double play, and the A's have got a couple of them in this game.
Well, the ball over the bag, Chapman had to be thinking at least second base, but then realized better not waste any time. Steps on the bag and a little bit extra step, but when you have a strong arm, you can afford to do it. This time makes the strong throw. Backhand, step on the bag, and really no look at second base. Just the maybe did not have a great grip on the baseball. Did not want to throw a sinker, especially with the runner going to second. Throw a four-seamer across the diamond, and it's the 5-3 double play.
This one tapped slowly toward Chapman. Scoops it, throws, and got him. Christian Arroyo, the runner, and see if the Rays want to take a look at it on a very close play. Let's us take a look at it.
Well, Chapman makes this play as well as anybody. Glove, transfer, strong throw, good stretch. He jumped at the bag. Let's play baseball.
He's out.
Yeah.
But yes, they are.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at it. But if you have an angle or a shot, the foot looked like the heel was on the ground before the toe hit the bag.
Yep.
And if that's the case, the ball was clearly into the glove. Pitter just decided he's out. Let's go.
And that's what you got to do. You got to sell him. But you can tell right there, the front of the foot, the toe, still up in the air.
It's funny to see Pender and Chapman looking at the A's vision, and Pender could read, he's out, let's go.
Yeah, Chapman's already in the dugout.
But after last night, I would not be so
nope, I wouldn't go anywhere.
Quick to go in to do anything.
Very
because
true.
Bob Melvin was saying that he didn't even wait to get the call. Last night he said, I'm going to challenge that's the one at second base because it was a leadoff double potentially by Robertson. And it was ruled overturned. And it was Gomez in the backup saying, what are you guys doing? There's this good idea of what he's doing. That's to throw. Call on the field. Check the foot. He's out. Yep.
So call stands, and that's how the top of the 7th comes to an end.
Test drive one today.
So it's 4-0, the Rays leading the A's. A's looking for their first hit. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Here is Wilmer Font, who wore an A's uniform for a very short time. Those are the combined numbers with the Dodgers and the A's. He did not have a lot of success with the Athletics.
17 innings pitched total, okay, 10 home runs allowed. He gave them up with the Dodgers against the A's, gave them up with the A's against other teams, and the defensive changes for the Tampa Bay Rays.
So Malik Smith is in center. Johnny Field goes to right. And Gomez is out. First pitch is a fastball for a strike to Chapman.
I just have to wonder if this is a one-inning appearance. See the numbers for Eovaldi, Joey Wendell.
And that's that interesting note about how many no-hit bids there have been this year of 6 or more innings compared to last year. There's already been more this year, taking a no-hitter into the 7th inning. That's amazing.
And let's not forget those 3 no-hitters in 3 different countries.
Yeah, that's right. Good call.
Mexico, U.S., and Canada. And the one in Mexico was combined. Sorry, that was combined, and this would, if completed, would have to be.
And we just think about what we talk about quite often, day in and day out, the approach offensively, the horsepower out there on the mound.
And there's a line drive, and Robertson leaps up to grab it. So 1 out here in the 7th.
Robertson, low liner off the bat of Chapman, has to elevate. Good play by the former Oakland farmhand.
If he doesn't catch it, might have been a double. Ball was rising and just kept taking off, but he made a nice play as the ball was headed to left center.
Here's Lowry, who has struck out and bounced back to the pitcher, and he takes the pitch down and away. Well, it's really become quite a cat and mouse game in baseball, with so many pitchers now with high velocity, and now the hitters with all the launch angle and exit velocity, all those different things. And it really is just a cat and mouse game between hitter and pitcher.
Exactly.
Do you agree, Dallas?
I concur wholeheartedly. It's definitely about matchups. With all of the information in the game today, we talk about 7th, 8th, and 9th. The 9th inning, the last 3 outs of the ball game. Well, frankly, the heightened sense of awareness, in my opinion, starts to kick in once we start to see the turnover in the bullpen arms. Once you get that 7th inning guy, that 8th inning guy, now you start to see hitters, not that they've abandoned an approach at any point in time prior during the game, but this is when they really start to bear down.
1-2 to Lowry. Well, and I did not mention shifts, which is also part of this back and forth in baseball right now. Andy Coulombe starts to throw. 2-2 the count with Olsen in the on-deck circle. Wilmer Font. Lowry fouls it back. Fastball a little in, 95 miles an hour. So this is the first appearance for Font in a Rays uniform. Another 2-2 to Lowry. Here it is. And it's low. Got to give Wilmer Font some credit. The trade with the A's and the Rays was made on Friday. He went all the way to St. Petersburg for the game. Got there Saturday night for the game on Sunday. Got on the plane with the Rays and flew right back to Oakland. Kind of a gamer move.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch, and that's a base hit up the middle. So Lowry gets the A's first hit. That's something to cheer about for the fan.
Felt like the opportunity was good against Font. Kind of that Iron Mike-ish arm action straight over the top. You can see the baseball a little while longer as opposed to that out of the hand of Eovaldi. And Lowry, probably the most professional hitter in this A's lineup, does a great job of battle until he gets something he can handle. And the A's finally scratch one across in the hit column.
So runner aboard. Here's Olson, who is grounded out twice, once to second and once to the pitcher. And he had a good swing there, fouled it straight back.
And if the A's are going to end that streak of 4 runs or fewer, in what, 12 consecutive games, they're going to have to. They're going to win tonight. They're going to have to break that streak because they're already down 4-0.
Olson, swing and a miss. Font does have a pretty good fastball. He just needs to do a better job of locating it. But he's got a pretty good velocity. That one at 96 miles an hour. Only no-hitter in franchise history. Matt Garza did it in 2010 against the Tigers. So aren't the Padres still the franchise that has never thrown a no-hitter?
Yeah, because the Mets did it. Johan Santana.
Center field and deep. Smith going back. Smith at the wall, and he caught it.
Jeez. Where's the win when you need it?
He had enough time to get to the wall and then just kind of wait and timed his leap. The ball was so high.
Well, that's it. Straight away, the deepest part of the park. And Matt Olson, 24 last year. He's hit 8 this season. Looked like he was hoping for number 9, but you get it up that high, has a chance to be knocked down by the wind. And you're right, Smith back. He just waited, jumped, and had plenty of time to see where he was, how close to the wall, and did not have the home run distance. Font's giving up 10. He knows what it's like to see him go over the fence.
Here's Piscotty, who takes outside. So Eovaldi's going to watch the rest of it from the clubhouse after 6 no-hit innings.
He probably can't wait to get up there to find out what guys were talking about pine tar on his thumb. Cameras are everywhere. They find everything.
Foul back, 1-1 the count. Piscotty is 0 for 2. Foul out and a fly ball to right field. Mariners 4, Rangers 3 in the 6th inning up at Safeco Field. It's game 3 of a 4-game series. Curveball rolled foul, big over the top curveball from Wilmer Font. Tigers beat the Angels 6-1 in Detroit. So the Angels, in their last 15 games, a 5-10 record.
Well, in reality, you saw the A's only 6 back with their record of game over 500, and that's what A's have been hoping in the first 2 months of the season to be close enough, see what they could do if they start playing consistent baseball and really get hot consistently.
When you think about that skid that the Angels have been on, and you think about the opportunity the Oakland A's had here with Seattle in town.
Yep.
Having dropped those here against the Rays. Series you think you should win. Opportunities to make up ground within your division. You hate to see those opportunities slip by.
1-2 pitch to Piscotty, a little bit high. Ohtani started that game for the Angels. He pitched 5 innings, 3 hits, just 1 earned run. It was a 5-run 6th inning by Detroit that was the difference in the game. Royals beat the Twins 11-8, 11-8. So the A's will be in Kansas City this weekend. Curveball bounced off the plate and foul.
And PI said the first pitch tonight in Kansas City was 87 degrees.
How about that?
First pitch with humidity, probably as high.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the mid-90s for our 3 games in Kansas City. Couple of day games. Mid-90s, folks. with no breeze.
People are going to say, yeah, it's going to be June 1st on Friday.
Another foul ball. You don't see this a lot, but there's actually hot dog wrappers blowing on the field right behind Christian Arroyo at second base.
Yeah, the best part I like about this tonight is to watch Dallas Braden down there freezing, because he's had an umbrella to keep the sun off him because it's so hot.
He looks cold.
And then tonight had to put the ski mask on.
Hands in his paw. Hands in the paw. I can see my breath out here, Foss.
I know.
I'm not complaining, though.
2-2 pitch. Another big curveball, and Piscotty just got a piece of it.
Just think of this homestand and fluctuation of the temperatures. Even yesterday, last night, I said, wow, it's a beautiful night. Then all of a sudden, Cap, would you wake up today and saw the marine layer?
It was cold. Right field, Will, it's 85 and sunny every day.
Right field, Will said he's got 90 jerseys. Blake Trinan, Will said, I got 3 years. He says, you got more than my parents do. It's big league pitcher, and right field Will has got them all.
2-2 pitch. Tap toward third. Duffy has it. Duffy fires across, and that will do it. So Wilmer Font gives up a hit, nothing else. And we are moving to the 8th. Still 4-0 Rays.
Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the Painter's Paint Store.
For nothing, the Rays lead the Athletics. It's the top of the 8th inning. Rays looking for their 5th consecutive win. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. 1-1 with a 4.58 ERA. The numbers for Coulomb: 21 strikeouts at 17 2/3 innings. He'll face Malik Smith, who's hitting in Carlos Gomez's spot. Smith in the game for defense in center field. First pitch to Smith is outside.
Have to wonder too, with the home to third on the triple by Gomez, and attention paid by the trainers, although as we have seen, he loves to play the game and plays hurt a lot of times, but maybe getting late in the game, as cool as it is, maybe the hamstring or whatever leg issues he had decided to shut him down for the rest of the night.
So 1-1 to Smith. Smith had the big hit on Monday in the 13th inning. Overall, he's 2 for 10 in the series. Swings and misses again, 1 and 2. Carlos Ramirez goes 2 innings. Gave up a hit, no runs with a walk. Lowry charges. He's got to be quick, and he is, and they get Malik Smith. So 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Time now for the Wells Fargo look ahead. How about tomorrow? 12:35 first pitch. It's going to be on the MLB Network.
Number 10.
It'll be
Johnny
Ryan
Field.
Stanek. So Stanek, he's going to pitch probably 1 inning, and it'll be Daniel Migden. Migden's been terrific. Month of May, 3-1, a 1.07 ERA, and he's sitting on 17 straight scoreless innings. So Daniel Migden, overall on the year, ERA, that's top 10 in the American League.
He is oozing confidence, and it's palpable. It's good to see. Sean Manaea had that same look in his eye earlier in the season. Love to see him get that back, but it's just a matter of confidence. I think you start to have the success, you can rely on yourself, confident in the fact that you belong at this level.
Could see Chris Davis back in the lineup tomorrow. He is scheduled to be back, and he's been working out pretty hard the last 2 or 3 days. Hayes want to make sure he is absolutely fully ready.
I think it looks good. Looks great. Thumbs up. Got it. Ready to go.
So his, at least it looks like his stint on the disabled list is going to be right at 10 days.
The 10-game homestand, basically, because it happened the last game of the Toronto series, last game of the road trip. 10-game homestand. So if tomorrow, if KD's in the lineup and the A's score 15 runs, well, no, it's his problem. I mean, that's the problem that it's existed in a 10-game homestand. Bob Melvin is hopeful. But one thing has to be a disappointment is that you lose a 13 home run hitter. You're just not scoring runs, but you still have to score runs. Find a way to manufacture, to do something. They just have not done it on this homestand.
That one is hit to left. It's hit deep, and it is gone. That's Johnny Field. And this ball game is now 5-0, the Rays lead. He went down and got a breaking pitch.
Yes, he did. He got every bit of that. All coming down and in. Johnny Field opens up. You can see that front hip open up. Drops the head.
Number 45, Jesus Duprez.
Absolutely backed leg by Johnny Field. Again, soft coming to these guys, especially from the left side, left on right, soft coming to them. You want to make sure you can bounce that. Try to attack that back foot. Obviously, Coulomb wants that pitch back.
He just showed with his left hand, slider down, did not break that much.
And he got it back.
So a couple of home runs for the Rays tonight. They have hit 6 now in this series. Sucre takes a strike, 0-2. For 3 tonight for Sucre. That home run, the 7th hit for the Rays. And a swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Lucroy tags it. So 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
That's the breaking ball he's looking for there. That's what he was looking for against Field. Just didn't quite get its way all the way to that back foot. Instead, he goes backdoor curveball here against Sucre. Catches him out front.
Sucre is always aggressive with his swings. Just showed there a pitch out of the strike zone, still went after it. I'd say his best attribute to this club is behind the plate. Handling a pitching staff, catching the ball.
Good breaking ball in for a strike to Daniel Robertson. Robertson is 0 for 3, but he's been on base twice. He reached on an error, and he's been hit by a pitch. Bounce to the right side, and it's going to get through. And even if one of the infielders makes a play on it, Ray, Robertson was going to have hit. Coulombe hesitated a little bit.
Yeah, falling off the third base side, and just enough of a hesitation. And just watch him fall off towards third and hesitate and realize, I mean, he shouldn't really have to look. It's an automatic, and that's why catchers will say, all to the right side, move. Don't hesitate. And it's always better to get there, even if you're not needed. If you hesitate that much, you'll never get to first, especially with the speed Robertson has.
So here's Crone, and that ball pops us away from Lucroy. Robertson will get himself into scoring position. So it'll be a wild pitch. Crone is 0 for 2. Walked and been hit by a pitch. He has scored a run. Swing and a miss. Fastball from Danny Coulombe. Mariners get a run. They lead the Rangers 5-3 in the 7th inning. Mariners trying to tie the Astros for first place.
Trying to think about the Astros playing the Yankees. Of course, it was the Yankees saying, well, we had a Stanton, and we got to win. And that's when Verlander said, whoa, wait a minute, got to go through Houston. So it's a nice little challenge for the two teams. Of course, they went head-to-head in the league championship series.
The Astros will head home, and they will have a 4-game series against the Red Sox starting tomorrow night.
Big, I know it's early, but still big postseason implications. Very early with those two teams.
Absolutely, that's a big one. Should be good atmosphere at Minute Maid.
And you know it'll be nice and comfortable because the roof's going to be closed. It's that time of the year in Houston. As we sit here with Dallas freezing down there. The A's have been fortunate. A little rain back on the East Coast, but other than that, they've not had any postponements. And that makes a huge difference when you hear about all the teams having to make up games and doubleheaders.
So another pitch that's in the dirt, and Robertson goes to third, and that's another wild pitch.
That's a good job by Robertson there to read that ball in the dirt. You read it out of the pitcher's hand. You're reading a down angle. You see that ball kick dirt up, shoot away. You know you've got time to break. Good heads-up play by Daniel Robertson.
Basically just called anticipation. Yep. You know what kind of a pitcher is on the mound, what type of pitches he throws, and a secondary lead is important.
And there's a line drive left center field. That's a base hit. Fowler picks it up. Crone's going to try for 2. The throw comes through, and it's late. And that is an RBI double for C.J. Crone. It's 6-0, the Rays lead.
When you think about the 2 wild pitches that, Jonathan Lucroy is never happy to see a ball get past him, but 2 wild pitches ends up with a runner at third base, and C.J. Crone with 2 strikes. And Daniel Robertson got jammed, hits a ball to right field. And with 2 outs, the Rays have scored another run.
Here's a throw in from Fowler. Nice one hop. And it's a good slide by C.J. Cron there. The foot not up over the bag, lead foot right into the bag.
So Chris Hatcher now starting to throw. Duffy is 1 for 4.
I'll tell you, as a bullpen guy, whether or not Chris Hatcher was going to be a part of this ball game tonight or not, if you're Danny Coulombe, one of the things that frustrates you is just having to see your teammate get up and get going. You'd like to have been a little more efficient throughout the inning.
Curveball, and Duffy chases that one. It was in the dirt. So 2 runs in here in the 8th inning, and some insurance runs for the Rays.
And you know what? In reality, this has been a less than enthusiastic game. One that's, you have the errors, the hit batters, and the wild pitches, and it's just one of those games that you're not happy.
He's not happy.
Yeah, I know he's not happy for sure. The skipper's never happy with a loss, but with a game that is not the best played.
Chapman's throw right there, and that will do it. But 2 runs on 3 hits, including a home run for the Rays. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 6-0.
Or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
All right, here's tonight's game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. 6-9-0 for the Rays, 0-1-4 for the Athletics. Nathan Eovaldi, 6 innings of no-hit baseball in his first start since August of 2016. So the Rays have to be just thrilled with that. The A's offense just cannot get anything going. The only hit in the game, Lowry's 1-out single in the 7th. So Wilmer Font back out there.
And if you're Tampa, you have to be, to your point, Hype, extremely excited. Think about the investment you made with Eovaldi.
That's right. Yeah, you really paid him last year to recover from Tommy John surgery.
Right, you signed him in 16 to rehab over the course of 17, hopefully prepare himself for 18, which he was. And then you're presented with the hurdle of those loose bodies in the elbow. He has the procedure, makes it back, debuts to the tune of 6 no-hit innings. Job well done.
Yep. I remember when Chad Bradford was acquired from the White Sox, having had back surgery, and kind of, I mean, Dustin Fowler. I mean, he had a bad knee. I mean, there are times that those things happen where trades are made with players who are injured. In the case of Eovaldi, that's kind of strange in a sense. Second, Tommy John. And to be able to have the idea that he could come back and pitch as well as he did, especially tonight, that's definitely a bargain. And somehow, some way, the Rays find a way to get pitching. I mean, they've traded away a tremendous number of pitches. Their guys have gone on to sign elsewhere, but they just keep manufacturing pitchers.
The Rays, they've got the reputation for being able to handle sort of being a safe haven, if you will, for guys rebounding from Tommy John. They've had some success in the past.
Another fly ball towards center field. And Alex Smith is there. So Fowler is retired. He's 0 for 3. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Hey, stick with the team you watched all season long. Tomorrow, game 1 of the NBA Finals right next door. They're getting ready at Oracle right now. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. with a special edition of Warriors Outsiders. Then it's Warriors Playoff Central before and after the game. It all starts at NBC Sports Bay Area. So the Warriors and the Cavs for the 4th consecutive year in the NBA Finals should be exciting. First pitch to Canna, high fastball, swing and a miss. He's ready.
I don't know how competitive that series is going to be. Get a healthy Golden State Warrior team. They might run LeBron up and down that court.
It's one megastar against 4 superstars. I mean, at least I think you could say Durant and Curry are superstars, and
no
Thompson
doubt.
and Green are stars. How about that?
Fairly said.
High fastball, and Canna chased it 95, but it was well up, so the count 1-2. Canna has grounded to third. He has grounded to second. Font, 31 pitches so far. You know, we have not mentioned the Rays are actually playing without their starting center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier, who's a very good player. He's a Gold Glove center fielder. He's out. Kiermaier tore ligaments in his right thumb. And he's going to be out for a while yet. Maybe after the All-Star break, get him back. But they're also playing without Danny Hechavarria, who's their shortstop. So they got a couple regular players that are going to be out for a little while. This is the play where he fractured his thumb. Kiermaier's a good player. He's just been hurt quite a bit the last couple of years.
Hurt himself running at first base last year. The A's will see the Rays again in September down in St. Petersburg. Same thing Mike Trout happened last year. That was also, I think, in St. Petersburg when he slid in the second and hurt his thumb.
They have a couple of, speaking of young starters, they have a couple young starting pitchers, Chirinos and Faria on the disabled list. They have both made starts this year, so not at full strength, but playing good baseball right now. The Tampa Bay Rays, they deserve a lot of credit. Swing and a miss on 3-2, 96 miles an hour, and Wilmer Font has retired 6 of the 7 hitters he has faced. 6-0 Hatcher coming in.
and food and drink, plus parking. Take the field with a pregame. You can also get scoreboard message and 24 hats for your group. Visit athletics.com for more information. Nice, sweet experience.
Chris Hatcher is the new pitcher for the A's. He's pitcher number 4. Manaya went 5. Carlos Ramirez went 2. Danny Coulombe 1 inning, gave up a couple of runs. That one's bounced up the middle and it's into center field. That's a base hit for Wilson Ramos, his second hit.
Time now for the Chrysler Drive of the game. Happened early against Sean Manaya. Ref Schneider with an opposite field 3-run home run. That went from a 1-0 to a 4-0 deficit for the Athletics, and Sean Manaya, who give up those 4 runs after 5 innings. Did finish quite strongly, giving up just 1 hit in his last 2 innings. But unfortunately, the pitch count got to him a little bit too much in the early part of the game, especially in the 3rd inning when he threw 35.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. 17 games, 3-2, 4.58 ERA for Hatcher. A little bit outside. So 10 hits now for the Rays. Tomorrow's game will be on the MLB Network. But we'll have all 3 for you from Kansas City. Frankie Montas is going to get another start. He'll start on Friday night. Well deserved.
Absolutely. You know, I asked him about that. It's like 12 pounds he's lost. You know, he definitely looked different to us whenever he was pitching, and got a chance to pitch well and pick up the victory.
There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Guys probably won't be huddling though in Kansas City.
They will not be huddling.
They will not have to worry about taking long sleeve of anything. No hoodies. They won't look like that in Kansas City.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Ref Schneider strikes out. 1 away here in the top of the 9th. The rest of the pitching matchups for the series against the Royals. Montas and Kennedy on Friday night. Cahill and Hamill on Saturday. Daniel Gossett and Jacob Junis. Junis, pretty good young pitcher.
Yeah. All 3 of those guys have beards. You see that? Must be.
First pitch is a strike. The Royals 20-36 on the year, and obviously a different situation now than it has been the last really 3-4 years, where they've had very good teams going to the World Series twice and winning it once. But we still like going to Kansas City. Good ballpark.
Good food.
Good food.
If you like barbecue.
Yep.
Oh, it's a good place to go.
Jack Stacks,
Jack
Original
Stacks.
Joe's.
Yeah, be there.
Downtown in the Plaza area. It's a nice area. Go out to Kauffman Stadium. You might be wanting some of the big breeze with the fountains to blow your way. Cool you off.
That one is sliced down the right field line, but foul. We'll have an off day on Monday in Dallas, and then just a 2-game series against the Rangers. You don't see a whole lot of 2-game series against teams within your division, but it does happen occasionally.
Best part about that is a night game on a getaway day.
That's great.
With a 2-hour time change coming back. You get it about 2. Play that night.
Two to Arroyo, who's 1 for 4. That one just a little bit inside.
One thing for sure, though, Cap, within a 10-day period of time, Kansas City, you're done. 3 in Kansas City, 4 here, and within a 10-day period of time, and that is it with the Royals.
Yeah, that's right.
See them twice, once there, once here, and that's it.
2-2 pitch is bounced slowly towards short. Pinner's going to flip to second to get the out there, and that's out number 2. Ball just was not hit very hard. It got in a little bit on Arroyo. So he is now 1 for 5, and Malik Smith will hit for the second time. Rangers scored 3 times in the top of the 7th inning, and the Rangers lead the Mariners 7-5. So back and forth game going on up there at Safeco Field. Rangers with a 23-34 record. Malik Smith came in the game in the bottom of the 7th inning for defense. This is his second at bat. He grounded out in the 8th.
Made that catch out in center up against the wall from Matt Olson.
That's why he's in there.
That's right. Marine Layer brought that back.
The A's pitching staff has had just 1 3-up, 3-down inning in this game, and that was Sean Manaea in the 4th. Lots of base runners tonight for the Rays.
Ref Schneider, every time he looks at those flags, he says, thank you. Those flags in the view quarter that are blowing out. Exactly where he hit the home run earlier in the game in the 3rd inning.
So, good inning for Hatcher. He gets a couple of strikeouts. Last shot for the A's. They got a lot of work to do.
Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
So the Rays leading 6-0, trying to make it 3 in a row over the Athletics. And the new pitcher is Del Nuno, the veteran left-hander. And he throws a pitch that's low to Pinder. Just the 3rd appearance for Vidal Nuno. He was pitching in AAA. But we've seen him in the big leagues some. A little bit inside, and now it's 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk to open up the bottom of the 9th.
For the A's, not necessarily a great night as far as fielding the baseball. It started really with the first batter. E5, then a pass ball, a walk, and then E6 on that one. And then another E6 on the throw. And then this throw into center field by the catcher. So 4 errors by the Athletics. Second time this year that has occurred. Once in April. And here on the 30th of May, it happens again.
Here's Barreto. Barreto is hitting for Joyce. So Franklin, Barreto. Those are the AAA numbers for Barreto.
And not just to keep the inning going and to pass the baton, but I'd love to see Franklin Barreto have a successful at bat here, even if it's just a hard hit ball. Coming up from AAA, you haven't played with the frequency you'd like. So just to be able to come off the bat, off the bench, excuse me, ice cold and put together a good AB can build some confidence for the young man.
That's right. And probably the future of this ball club. One of the young players who's going to get a chance to play a lot in the future. You're right, Dallas. The more he can accept this role and come off and have a quality at bat, will bode well for the future.
Behind in the count, 1-2. Chapman will be next. Takes that pitch in the dirt.
And if nothing else, taking pitches like that in the dirt instead of swinging wildly at them, which is unfortunately what we've seen a little bit too much from him.
Sure, and that all plays into wanting to come up and make an impact.
And a big swing and a miss. See, that's just, you know what? That's too big of a swing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, with 2 strikes. And, you know, that's kind of the way he swings anyway. And, you know, the one thing he talked about last year, he wanted to be better than Juan Miguel Cabrera. And Cabrera's pretty good. He never swings like that with 2 strikes. And he uses the whole field. So, I mean, you can make the comment, but sometimes, I mean, they're both Venezuelan. But bottom line, Cabrera's got a long way to go, and he knows it. He's got a chance to be a very talented young defensive player as well as hitter.
So here's Chapman. Chapman is 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked way back in the very first inning. The A's didn't do anything until Lowry's 1-out single in the 7th.
So you think of Matt Chapman last night hitting the 2nd spot. Simeon leading off. Simeon out with paternity. His wife Taryn, their 2nd child born today, so congratulations to them. But also with KD out, it really changes the lineup and how Bob Melvin is trying to position players in the lineup. Chapman and Olsman have been mostly in the 5-6 part of the batting order. Olsen moved up to clean up. Of course, when KD comes back, he'll go back in that spot. You don't see a starter.
That is tomorrow's starter. Yeah. And Chapman swings at a pitch in the dirt, and that's another strikeout for Nuno. A's have struck out 7 times in this game, and they have struck out 31 times now in the series.
They lead all of baseball in the month of May in strikeouts.
Final games tomorrow, fortunately. Fortunately, tomorrow, the 31st of May. Start a new month in Kansas City on Friday.
First pitch to Lowry is a fastball high. Only hit in the game. Here it is.
Off-speed pitch on 3-2. Jed Lowry, the base hit up the middle. Nathan Eovaldi was outstanding in his 6 innings.
Hang in there, buddy. That is a good fan. He's still waving the flag.
And it's not white.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Good call. Good call. No giving up with that gentleman. He was searching for a little oxygen, but that's okay. Two and 1 the count to Lowry. Fouled straight back. The A's will sleep fast and get back to work tomorrow with a 12:35 first pitch. You can hear it on 95.7 The Game and watch it on the MLB Network. He's trying to avoid being shut out. Happened a couple times already on this homestand.
Too much already, you're right.
Which is hard to believe. Two pitches just a little bit low. 3-2. So Pinder, the runner at first, to let off this bottom of the ninth with a walk. He will be on the move. Payoff pitch, here it is, and it's lifted to left field. Ref Snyder coming in, and that's the ball game. So Tampa Bay Rays continue to play good baseball as they win their 5th consecutive game, and they have taken the first 3 games of the series. And for the A's, they are shut out for the 5th time this year, the 3rd time on this homestand. So a little frustration for the Athletics right now, but they'll get back to work trying to salvage a game tomorrow. Took 2 hours and 50 minutes in front of 6,705. The final score, the Tampa Bay Rays shut out the Athletics by a final score of 6-0. Time now for A's post-game live. Brody, you can have this one, buddy.